In this part of the lesson, we will look at how to write sentences that also contain prepositional phrases. This is actually a combination of two activities that we have already done. We have just gone through part 1 of this lesson, which talks about how to write prepositional phrases. And earlier in the chapter, you wrote sentences that use the nominative and the genitive case along with the verb to be. Now we're going to combine the two. The girls are in the temple of Juno. To correctly write this sentence, the first thing that you want to think about is where are the prepositional phrases in this sentence? We see that in is the Latin word in plus the ablative, which makes in the prepositional preposition or the beginning of the prepositional phrase. Remember that a prepositional phrase ends with the object of the preposition. So what are we in? We are in the temple. That makes in the temple the entire prepositional phrase. Remember that you don't have to do anything with the word in except write it into the sentence. But the word temple, when you write it after the word in, must be written with the ablative ending. In order to know what the ablative ending is for temple, you need to look at its genitive form to determine the declension. Remember that when you see I on the genitive form, you have a second declension noun. The ablative singular ending for a second declension noun is the letter O, no matter whether you are working with masculine or feminine. Masculine or neuter. I like to start writing a sentence into Latin by working with the prepositional phrases, if there are any, because they are simple to put together. I don't have to think about what noun case to use because the preposition tells me. The only thing I have to think about is what declension the noun is and whether it's singular or plural, and sometimes I need to think about the gender. The next thing I like to be able to find when I'm writing a sentence into Latin is anything that would be in the genitive case. Genitive case is used for any word in English that ends with an apostrophe S or any noun that comes after the word of. So in this sentence, I have the phrase of Juno. And that means that because Juno follows the word of, I'm going to write Juno in the genitive case. Remember when I look at the vocabulary list and I find the word Juno, and then I look at the Latin entry, it's the second word of the entry, Junonis, which is the genitive form. When I use this in the Latin sentence, I want to put it either in front of the word temple or after the word temple. I'm going to keep it after the word temple in my version. Now I have two words left in the sentence. The girls are. When I look at a sentence in English and I see a noun in front of a verb, that noun is the subject. So I need to make girls, puella, puellae, in the nominative plural. Because girls is plural, so must my Latin word be plural. And the reason I want the nominative case is because girls is the subject. In order to know which nominative case ending to choose, I have to know what declension I'm looking at. By now you should remember that it is puella, puellae with an AE, which means that the nominative plural ending I have to choose is puellae. Just like this. Then I have to use the correct form of the verb to be that will express are. There are several words in Latin, several forms of the verb to be in Latin that can be translated as are in English. They are es, sumus, estis, and sunt. Only one of these is correct for the sentence, and I'll know which one is correct based on the subject. If the subject were singular, I could use es, but it is not singular. The subject is plural, which leaves me with 3 choices. Whenever I use sumus, the subject has to be we. I don't have we as the subject. I have the girls as the subject. Whenever I use estis, the subject has to be you. I don't have you as the subject. I have girls as the subject. Girls is the same as they, and that's what sunt means. They are. So since I could replace the word girls with they in the sentence, the verb that I'm going to use is sunt. In templo Junonis puellae sunt. It would also be okay to write puellae. Let me see if I have some space. Puellae sunt in templo Junonis. That would also be acceptable.